Am I just ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some of the products that we use every day, like chairs, cabinets, and doors, they all have one thing in common. They're made out of wood. Good evening. I am Curtis Haffer, and I'm going to tell you about the benefits of wood products. For my research paper, the topic I chose was the benefits of wood products because I knew that we use them a lot, so I decided to write about it. And one of the benefits of wood products is that they help with money, because the lumber industry is a multi-billion dollar industry that supplies important materials to paper mills and construction companies. And sawmills and processing mills help with the economy in small towns. And Europe has been accounted for $49 billion in the wood market, which is also 13.3% of market shares. According to RVAC, the global wood market is expected to grow from $373 billion from 2016 to $532 billion in 2020. Another reason that they have benefits is they're good for building materials, because the wood that they use for building is somewhat fire resistant, because it forms a layer of charcoal that protects the wood on the inside, so that way it can continue holding the structure up. And it is naturally electrical resistant whenever it is reduced to moisture content. And the wood is also more insulating because of its natural cellular structure. So it'll be more insulating than steel or concrete. The wood, another benefit of them is jobs. Because in 2016, 163,238 jobs were counted based on the wood industry in 2016. And 96,000 of the jobs are from sawmills. An additional 266,000 jobs are also based around them because they require the sawmills to work. And whenever you buy wood, it would make a market for them. So you'd have to have people getting the wood from forests, and you'd have to have people to cut the wood into the correct boards that people would use. And we can also use them for power. In 2008, power mills that run off wood created 6,700 megawatts, which is enough energy to run 6 million homes. And in developing countries, they use this mainly, which supplies that power to 2 million people. And America is turning towards the wood burning plants. And for my product that I did was I created a bunk bed. I was originally going to make the bunk bed out of oak, but it was going to be too expensive for what I was going to make at the time, so I had to change it to pine. I didn't use treated lumber, so I created the first two parts at a shop, so that way, because when we can build it in the room, but when we created the front end and the back end of the beds, we brought the pieces of the wood to my house so that way we could bring them. We could finish building the bed. So that way we could build the end pieces there and put the slats on. Because if we would have completed the bed in the shop, it would have been too big to fit through the hallway. So we had to make it in parts. So some of the challenges that I had when creating the bunk bed was some of the wood that I had was not in good condition. But some of them were rounded at the ends and had bark covering them. So I had to find ways that I could use the pieces and put them in spots that wouldn't be as noticeable. So that way the bed would look nicer. So, and I had to find time for my mentor because he had some things to do. So I had to find some time for him. And at one point, whenever we were making the bed, we had put the pieces on, but then we found out that we had put the pieces on wrong. So we had to take it apart, and then we had to rebuild the bed. We had to rebuild this section. So in conclusion, we should use wood products because it helps people and the economy whenever we use them. So, thank you. And do you have any questions? Yes.
When you were constructing the bed, how did you attach the various pieces?
We use screws
Okay.
and some glue, but whenever some of the pieces whenever we glue them, some of them start to fall off, so that we had to screw some of them in. So we use mainly screws, but we use some glue as well.
Mm-hmm. And did you get the lumber from a lumber yard? Was this dimension lumber, or did you pick it up from the sawmill?
We got the wood from Wagner's here in town.
Bruce, where did you get the plans?
We had found them a site thing that helps that has plans for the bunkers. That's where we got them.
Were there a number of designs and you had to pick up one? Or was there just...
Well, the site just had like the one bed.
So there was just one bed design that seemed to work?
Yeah, it was not work. The one that's design. Oh, that worked. The design was pretty good. That one.
How old were your sisters?
12 and 11, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them's going to be turning 13 soon. So, yeah, 12 and 11.
Were they pretty happy to get their own beds and off the floor?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
But I had to smell first.
And when you said that it was going to be used for years to come, is that because you built it really well and it's going to stay together for years to come, or is it just because it won't fit back out the door? I'm being funny. I'm being funny.
I hope they don't destroy it because I don't think it'll be up to.
Have they done a lot of jumping on it?
No,
No.
they have not. And if they did, they shouldn't. I don't know about it.
Have you thought about any future projects?
I have so much sweat in my eye. No, not really. Thank you. Really? Well, I did make a little stand thing. Yeah, it's a stand. I made a stand.
Well, on behalf of the folks from the area that are involved in the timber industry, I know that they appreciate your awareness. The timber industry in Missouri is the #1 agricultural product. It's $8 billion a year industry in Missouri, so I know they appreciate you noticing that. Thank you.